Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Xia Taptara speaking. Today I am going to show you how to draw a figure. This is episode 4, I think. 4, I think. So today we are going to learn about overlapping the body parts. Overlapping is kind of like some things in front of the others, or it could be my hands in front of my face, right? Or some glass in front of the hand, in front of the chest. So those are type of overlapping that are obvious. And there are some overlapping that's quite not obvious. So like the muscle group in front of the other group, or like if I'm turning here, this you see this arm in front of this chest and this chest in front of that arm. So overlapping is kind of the arrangement of the object in the space. So also, there was a question, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, on how to draw a knee. So we're gonna get a little bit of the foreshortening on because the knees in front are also overlapping body part, and then I'm going to try to explain to you how to get them to look properly when they are forward in a certain position. So today it might be a few drawing or a couple. Also, if you have any question, please post them down below. First, well, I should have said this first, right? First, I'm going to explain to you how I approach the drawing that I'm going to show you before I draw. I'm confused. So I'm going to try to break down my thought process and how to approach it in the way that I think it should be, or the easiest way that I think it will be for everybody to draw this kind of stuff, right? So we're gonna break it down the geometry form and or whatever that is easier for you, and then I'm gonna show you the actual drawing, which each drawing take about 1 to 3 minutes, depends on the pose. And if you have any question, post them down below. I will get to all of you. So and if you don't have any question, you can also say hi down below also. And please let me know if the volume of this video is good, because sometimes I'm curious, right? Because sometimes when I adjust it low, some people can't hear them. And sometimes I jack it up a little too high, people like I'm screaming. So let me know how do you hear them? Do you hear them okay, or do you hear them too low or too high? I just want to know the majority of the opinions. So whatever you guys, if you're watching this video right now, just comment them down below. And also a bunch of links down below the video will lead you to the good stuff and tutorial and things. All right, guys. Well, enjoy your coffee and my video, of course. Have a great day. All right. So here is one of the gesture drawing, and this is another one of the gesture drawing, and you can see there's a bunch of overlapping parts. So let's go with this one first. So you can see that some of the object, like the knees and the body parts here, are in a bit of foreshortening. So, and the thighs are in front of the body, and the body is behind the thighs. But then you have this arm here that was right behind the torso, and then coming in the front, and then going down in front in the closer space than the actual torso. So basically, when you encounter these kind of pose, you're gonna have to kind of think in terms of the Z space. The Z space is, let's do, this is X, this is Y, this is Z. So Z is the depth, right? So here, let's start off with the knees. You see that the knee is actually shorter than the rest, and reason being is because it's coming in the front. So you can think of it as and you can't have a straight cylinder, right? Because part of these are flesh, and if they squish together, you have this elasticity between the two flesh. So they're not like when you have a mannequin to work with, that is cool, like the mannequin figure that you practice drawing with. But what I'm saying is when you go to live drawing, you see how this actual body are actually interact with each other, right? So this two part will not be as big as the two tube or two cube together. Not cube, sorry, cylinder together, right? It's going to overlap because the part that are closer together are bones. You can't separate the bones even though you have a kneecap. So as you come in here, these have to be pointier. So you can't, if you have two cylinder, the width are going to be like this, right? But in reality, it's going to have to be overlapping, and it will squish. And that will be your lower legs and your calf. And that will be your pelvic or whatever, right? So that is also very important. And this line in between usually come all the way here, and this will be your sort of like a kneecap. So that's part of the that's why I always emphasize about the live drawing, and you should go to the live drawing part. And then this is actually not, it's just a gesture drawing. If you want a more refined drawing, you're probably going to have to I have to spend more time on it and trying to fix them up or something, right? But these are just kind of good enough for the gesture drawing and get the pose going. But if I want a finer drawing, I'll have to kind of work on it a little more. So, and to kind of, when you see this kind of stuff, you have to perhaps think of the contour line that will help you out and which direction it goes, right? This is not coming straight forward. This is a little off to the side. So it's, when you have a contour line, you could, so the contour line is not going to be the circular shape, it's going to be squish, right? And then this also, and this would be your shin bone. And it's coming down here. You could, I don't think you see the kneecap over here as far as I know, and that will kind of open up to be rounder, but this part will get pressed, right? So that would be a little more accurate. So when you draw this thing, think about the contour line and how it will help define the mesh for the body. Also, your pelvic, well, that's another story entirely. So I'll save that for the next lesson. And then you have to look at which angle does the body goes. So if you look at these, you see the side of the plane on this side. So you see that side of the rib cage, but the other, but the right side of the rib cage is hidden. So you can identify which plane you see, and this will become very useful when you trying to paint the figure, right? And you add a collarbone here, and you have another plane here, which is kind of slope, and then your arm, which coming from, if I have in here, your arm is coming from here. So you can draw the arm connected from here. Your arm has to come from behind that, and you draw the contour line for the arm, it should come forward. and that will be compressed between this upper arm and the torso itself, right? And then this part also coming forward, right? So, and then the legs is going, this one's coming forward, and that leg's probably going backward, since your arm has to come forward and leg coming backward. And you have to be able to imagine, or it would be a challenge if you try to draw this on the top view, right? So I'm trying to draw this on the top view. So here is the head. And then the body, as you can know, just kind of go that way. Then the knees coming this way. The legs going that way. The arms going that way. And the arms going down to the floor and coming forward. So you have to be able to imagine this object in space. Let me move it here a little bit. And this will be smaller, and hairs coming. The hair is coming to block the view of the shoulder, and that arm is kind of going straight somewhat. So your contour line has to be opposite to that, because your arm is going that way in the back, right? So your contour line has to go here. So it's going back a little bit. See that line, that circular shape or oval shape, and then that's also going back. Then the next kind of going up. All right, so basically these are some sort of overlapping. And also, when I forgot to explain this, I think this will be the part that is kind of important, that this body is in the front. And if the arm's in the front, you're going to see that part that connect. And if this muscle is in the front, if deltoid is in the front, you can see overlapping this deltoid here, and you see tricep, and then the biceps kind of coming over here, right? And here, in here, you probably see this bicep coming in. But this is not super obvious, basically. I'll show you in the other one how. Oh, here you can, this chin are in front of this foot here, right? And that probably the wrong ankle there. And you have fingers right there. All right, so that's one of the pose. And if you have any question, please post them down below so I can help you get to anything that you get stuck. And this knee is basically coming forward, and as you can see, I have this line here, which is the line of the kneecap. So they kind of angle a little bit. If this is a vertical line of the knee, this is where the knee is kind of situated. So it's a little angle there, about 45 degree, because the pelvic kind of tilted up, right? So the knee or the socket for the thigh bones, I have to tilt a little. Also, if you look at these, I kind of get all these part of the legs behind, but I didn't draw it up too thick, because some of them, if they're not visible as much, make the line thin, and these are a lot more visible, then make the line thick. And here you see this, just going to erase that. It doesn't need to be totally connected, because all these lines are probably going to be super thin, the line between these. And I'm going to emphasize on the kneecap, and then the line on the up here of the front of the thigh. And here is the kneecap, and the bones coming from below because the hip is tilted, and then the legs going backward, probably going backward more, and those are the feet, right? So, and you can see that this part of the left thighs is all in front or on top of these legs, and then this kneecaps, probably this whole thing here, right? So let's move that. So it probably touches over here, and you can see that line's kind of almost flat. And this is if there are the shadow for the kneecap, but since it touches the light, and if I have more time, there'll probably be some shadow that casts over. So that'll be part that's why this is a little flat, because it touches, and this part is knee. So what I would suggest, if you want to draw this type of stuff, then you have to go to a lot of live drawing sessions so you can actually see what's going on. And reference would help, but in the live drawing session, you would kind of actually see. It might be hard. And then you can get the reference from the artists that you admired and try to look at how they do that type of stuff. So when you actually have to do it, you don't have to kind of, oh, I have to do it now. I don't have time to. So keep practicing. That's why when you go to live drawing, you can choose what pose you are going to draw. They'll be there. So you will naturally practice something that you don't know when you're going to use automatically, right? So you don't have to kind of wait. And okay, let's talk about overlapping. So this arm is in the front of the torso, and it's kind of coming forward. So you see the arm in the front, and all these lines are in the back. Hairs in the front, and if you happen to have deltoid, you could probably see deltoid here, and there'll be tricep and bicep. Here's in the front of this forearm, and then this one also. Those are a little. I forgot to draw the neck. Those are a little subtlety that you will kind of pick it up as you draw more. You can. You're going to be able to see them more. And as I'm saying these, you probably go back to your drawing. You try, okay, did I arrange it right? But if you, sometimes if you rotate the arm, say, if you rotate it the different way, then, the overlapping of the muscle are going to be different. All right, so I guess that's all it is for today. Let's get to the drawing, and this one is almost the torso is almost kind of coming forward a little. Let's do that. Do you need to do that? No, I don't think so. And the arms kind of slightly forward. So if I have to draw this figure on the top view, then you're probably gonna see, well, let's do that. Why not? A little bit tilt, arm coming forward, but it's off to the side. Hair, knees, that leg's bent a little. That arm's bent a little here, and then foot. And then the head's looking down a bit. So, then hands. So once you're, if you see a certain pose from the reference, try to imagine it from a different side, and you will be able to see more of what you're trying to achieve or what you're trying to draw. When you can see the figure, and you can figure out if I look at it from a different angle, what it will actually look like. All right, guys. Well, let's get started on the drawing. Alright, so I have a blank canvas, then I just start with the torso, pelvic, then I have the thighs coming up first. That's the big piece of oval on top, and then the calf and the lower legs in the bottom. Also, I draw the straight line just for the legs that is behind. Then I start with follow with the arms, and then the face with the cross mark to set the direction of the head. I can't comment faster than I draw, so apologize for that. Then the arms. So I just get the basic body structure down first, and I look at a big piece, which one is the bigger piece that I can go off from, and which one will be the secondary, and so on, right? So whichever is in the front, I try to focus on that first. But this one, I go with the torso first because the torso has a little bit of the kind of a very prominent direction and the position and the angle. So I start off with torso, then I can get the more accurate picture of the hips and the thighs, so I can set those direction. And once I have those two pieces, the arm will be easy because you got to get the torso right in the particular angle that they are at. Then you can extend the arm out. Also, pelvic position is very important because if you get the pelvic position wrong, you have to think of it in terms of 3D, so you can identify if the legs coming up in the front, or is it coming up to the side, or if it's going down to the default position. And now I have pretty much the frame of everything. The legs is a little short because I ran out of the space. I should have when you start drawing a figure, you have to have an accurate estimate of how big you want to go, right? That's probably will be better if you are trying to draw the whole figure. And usually gesture drawing, I'm not trying to focus particularly on any detail at all because you have no time for that. And this is basically an animator way of trying to get the gesture, try to get as quick as you can and to the point of what the body pose is doing. So there's a different approach in drawing gesture, and this way is the one that you're trying to get the pose down. And try not to focus on any particular detail or whatever particular muscle, right? So you just trying to get the big piece and trying to get the whole thing. Now the second one, I start off with the knees, but the line on top, I would guess that is the shoulder and the collarbone. So I start off with basically the line for the shoulder, and then I try to think about the pelvic, which angle does it go, which left leg would, on this one in particular, the left leg is up and the right leg is down, looking at the pelvic. So the pelvic is a little tilt, and the shoulder is slightly tilt, but not as much as the pelvic. So one leg's on top of the others, and then two arms coming slightly forward to the body. And as I shown you in the beginning, the top view of this figure, what it should look like, or what I think it looked like, and I think it should be pretty accurate. And now I'm trying to get the line, overlapping line. So as you can see, I draw the line for those kneecap in the front, those two lines, and then the line for the muscle along the thigh, and the line for the muscle along the calves and the lower leg. And the cool thing about Sketchbook Pro is or any drawing application on iPad is that you can rotate it as if you would rotate it in the real sketchbook, or you can actually rotate the whole iPad without having to rotate it inside. Anyways, so now we got the crucial part down, basically. And if I want it to be more accurate, I probably have to pause the video and try to take a look at it and see if it's which part I should add more and which part I should make the line thinner. So The line width also very important, which I think I should make a video on that too. And if you agree, then post a comment down below if you want to see how my approach to the line width, right? All right, so if you saw the plane, those oval shape on top of the head, those are the plane on top of your head. And I usually use the plane on top and the cross in the front to identify which direction the head is facing. And those are going to be pretty convenient for you to try to get where the head is going when you're trying to draw a figure without any reference, right? So you just use those geometry shape to set up, and then you can get the figure however you want them to look. All right, guys, and then usually I just like to shade the hair afterwards, so it's kind of have a little more presentable look on the gesture. And I will also add a couple more gesture drawing in the end for the different pose, so you can see my process and all that. I hope this will be useful to you guys. So here's another pose, and there'll be one more pose. And if you are interested in drawing figure or advance in your drawing skill or painting skill, you can go to my website and register or get on the waiting list for the one-on-one class. And if you want a group class, then you might want to gather around some people, and because I haven't set up the group class in a long while, so there might be some, depends. And if you want a group class or something, post them down below if you're interested under the comment, or just email me, and I'll try to set those up. But I barely have a lot of time, so those will be pretty hard. But one-on-one session is a lot easier to arrange. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this will be very useful to you guys. Enjoy the drawing. Have a great day. Bye-bye.